Well, I'm delighted to be here with you all at the Burren. Really pleased to have the opportunity to be here. The Sensory Trust is all about making places both accessible and engaging for people who often get left off the radar. So we're particularly interested in issues like disability and things like older age, which tend to bring with them issues that make it just harder for people to get perhaps out into places that are really special, like the Burren. But what we're always really interested in is not just the technical issues of can people get out, but really once they're there, how do they connect with the places that they're in? And when you've got somewhere that's just so beautiful and incredible like the Burren, what you also know is that there are a lot of layers that are quite complex in a landscape like the Burren, which once you have a degree of knowledge about them, you can start to unpick and understand. But if you come into a landscape like that without any of that knowledge, and you find yourself in there, you know, how can we help people to find entry points and to not just develop understanding of what that landscape is, but to make some really personal connections with it. I think there's an underlying issue that we respond to in our work, and that is that increasingly we see people being disconnected or feeling disconnected really from the environment they're in. We live in a more visual world. We're more visually dominated by technology, videos, televisions, everything else. And I think the opportunity to have very real, personal, hands-on, sensory-rich experiences is less generally for people. And when I think back to when I was a child, my childhood, I was very lucky. It was full of very real experiences. I was out in nature, really. I played in the water, I played in the trees, I climbed things. I played with my brothers and we bombed each other with cornstalks. And all of that, I think, gave me just an assumption that when you go through life, those are the sorts of things that we'll all be able to do. And I think what I realised when I got to the age where obviously I was working, was that a lot of people don't have that, and it matters. And I think that's really what we're about. We're just saying, you know, if people are going to actually think that the natural world is important, they have to love it. And to love it, they have to have a connection with it. So really that's what we try and do, is make through all our senses ways that people can find to make those connections.